Watch what happens when a smug liberal loudmouth squares up with Senator Kennedy, but Kennedy brings receipts and reads his own damning words right back to him. Watch this.
Mr. Beer, you seem to be a very smart guy, and you seem to be a nice enough guy.
Thank you, Senator. You seem smart as well.
Jack.
Don't
That was the chairman, not me.
Don't you think your hyperbolic statements undermine your credibility?
What hyperbolic statement did I make?
On February the 11th, 2026, you posted on Bluesky, quote, my words, or your words, not mine. The Democrats' video telling service members to ignore illegal orders didn't go far enough. They should have also urged them to refuse unethical orders, whether illegal or not. There are many things deemed legal that are still obviously unethical, and everyone should hold themselves to this higher law, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
I believe you did. Do you disagree with it?
This guy is promoting our troops to disobey legal orders and insinuating that President Trump's administration is giving unethical orders? Yeah, I disagree with it.
You think people should do unethical things in their capacity?
On December the 31st of 2025, you posted in front of God.
But wait.
In front of,
do you disagree with what I said?
Let me finish my question.
I'm
You
sorry.
answered, sir.
Sure.
In front of God and country, you said, quote, they, referring to Republicans, think they can troll their way into us accepting ethnic cleansing, end quote. Your words, not mine. Did I read that correctly?
That was in regard to a Department of Homeland
Did I
Security
read
post about advocating 100 million deportations. That is what DHS has tweeted from their own account. 100 million deportations
hurts,
would be ethnic cleansing. You would be removing 1/3 of the country. So yes, there are people within the Department of Homeland Security.
And you don't think this is hyperbolic? Give me 30 more seconds.
I think advocating 100 million deportations is
I'm having fun here,
ethnic
Mr. Chairman.
cleansing.
On February
Yes.
5th, you quoted you said the following on Bluesky.
Your time's up.
These are all good, but there's no enforcement mechanism. I'm sorry. Let me try a better one. On March 2nd, you said, quote, if you rule against Trump's population purge agenda, no hyperbole there, the nativists will name you, threaten you, and come after you. These judges are much braver than the ICE agents who hide behind masks while violating the Constitution.
They are much braver. They put their names on their rulings and they stand behind their constitutional rulings. When I talk about population purge, I'm talking about the fact that they're trying to deport U.S.-born citizens, people born here. They are trying to deport them as well. So it's not a mass deportation agenda. It is also an agenda intended to reduce the population of the United States, including U.S.-born people.
Thank you.
These are not hyperbolic statements. I appreciate you reading my account. I appreciate
Here's
your
the good
research.
news.
What planet did you just, wait a minute, Mr. Chairman, what planet did you just parachute in from?
No. Hey, guys.
You trigger my gag reflex.
That's a great question. What planet did this guy parachute in from? If he thinks that the Trump agenda is to deport hundreds of millions of people, he's correct, that would be 1/3 of the country. If anybody on our side is seriously promoting that or wanting that to happen, he is living in a fantasy world. The Democrats let in tens of millions of people, tens of millions illegally, and allowed them to come here, gave them legal residence and circumnavigated traditional, correct immigration law just to bring them here during the Biden administration. We want to undo that. We want to get those people out of this country. But he's responding to a meme that was posted by DHS. Now, the Trump administration on social media is pretty savage. They're playing fast and loose a lot of times with things that they know are just going to trigger the left. And it worked in this case. But a lot of times when they choose to take it seriously, they use it as a political attack against President Trump, and we make it easy for them by even posting that kind of stuff in the first place. A lot of it, I think, is funny. A lot of it, I think, is unnecessary. But it's a joke all the same. It's not something to be taken seriously. We want to deport the people who broke our laws, who the Democrats shoveled into this country from the third world, who are now here illegally, and President Trump has every legal right to remove these people using ICE, just like President Obama did, Clinton, Bush. Using ICE to deport people is precedented and legal. And these open borders liberals, this guy I think is a Cato Institute libertarian, not a liberal technically, but they oppose that agenda for many different reasons. The liberals and the Democrats want these demographics of people to stay in this country because they know that they have a loyal voting base. They want to enable these people to vote. That's why they are against the SAVE Act. They want to make sure that they keep these people ideologically captured and voting for left-wing Democrats in perpetuity, while the free market libertarians, like this guy, he's coming from that angle, working for the Cato Institute. That entire view of American politics is what led to the selling out of the American working class to overseas sweatshops in China, in Vietnam, in the third world. And they support illegal immigrants coming to this country and taking jobs from Americans so that they can get paid oftentimes lower than minimum wage, completely undermining our economy. They say that it's necessary that we have these low-wage manual labor workers from third world countries because it's cost-effective. That's the free market. It's an abuse of the free market to do that. I, as much as anyone else, supports capitalism, free market capitalism, but what I don't want to see is American workers not being able to access jobs because they're being taken by illegal immigrants. President Trump's agenda is trying to reestablish the American economy, bring back industries and jobs that the establishment shipped overseas, corporate interests shipped overseas, because they could profiteer from that. And we're trying to rebuild an America First economy. And there's going to be growing pains with that. There's going to be conflicts and issues as we shift back to employing American workers and enabling American businesses to be successful and not be neutered by unfair trade deals, people who have taken advantage of us that are supposed to be our allies and trade partners. President Trump is working very hard to rectify that. And this goes against everything the establishment, the uniparty, Republicans and Democrats, have built since the 90s, when they shipped our industries, they hollowed out the center of America, all of the blue-collar working people here, sold them out and gave the jobs to foreigners so that they could pay them pennies on the dollar to create inferior products and that we could all have cheap Amazon overnight shipping, I guess. Trump and his supporters want the American citizens to be prioritized economically, voting-wise, and when it comes to domestic security and safety, the safety of their communities. That is why we're using ICE to address and target people who are deportable, legally deportable, across the country and remove them. Because the Democrats created this mess intentionally. They had an agenda to let in these people who they knew were going to politically support them. Then they're trying to oppose voter ID laws, the SAVE Act, so that they can vote for them, and they can dilute the voting base of Republicans and conservatives across the country, basically wash out President Trump and the MAGA movement's support with these people. And it's funny because early in President Obama's career, he was actually hard on immigration. He deported 5 million people using ICE during his administration because at that time he acknowledged that the massive destabilizing effects of mass migration, something that Hillary Clinton recently addressed as well at the Munich Security Conference. She admitted that her husband, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama deported more people with ICE than President Trump has. So once President Trump starts deporting people at a faster rate than Obama and Bill Clinton did, then I'll take seriously that he's trying to ethnically cleanse America. But right now, he's not even on track to beat Obama's numbers, which were less than Bill Clinton's. The Democrats used to take seriously the issue of our border and immigration. They acknowledge the realities of mass migration and all of the consequences of it. And now they don't, because they've decided it is in the interest of the establishment to have these people here. and to maintain the status quo in Washington, D.C. I think it's ridiculous. I've talked to many Democrats when I go out and do my man on the street videos who say, who's going to pick your food? Who's going to deliver DoorDash to you if we deport all these illegal immigrants? Do you know how sick that is? How can these tolerant, liberal, bleeding heart progressives say that? That they want a permanent underclass of minorities from third world countries to practically serve them, to be their servants, and to be their agriculture crop pickers. They don't see how backwards that is. How about we give those jobs to Americans? The reason they don't want to do that is because, then we have to pay them a fair wage. Then we have to restructure our economy and reorganize it so that it actually works for American people. And that's hard. Like I said, that has a lot of growing pains associated with it, and they don't want to undertake that. They would rather continue to sell out hardworking blue-collar Americans who are also mostly white, and we see them demonize those people too. They call them deplorables. They think that they're all backwards. It's very condescending and just ridiculous at this point for the establishment to have this position on immigration, and we see right through it. We're done with it. White, black, Hispanic, and otherwise Americans agree with President Trump's agenda to remove people who came here illegally and are causing these socioeconomic problems by being here. Crime aside, that's another huge problem because a lot of these people came in unvetted, or they came from countries where we can't appropriately vet them because they have third world criminal justice systems. What is the quality of record keeping in places like Somalia or Afghanistan or Venezuela, where we can't actually know who these people are or what groups they're affiliated with, extremist groups or otherwise? That is a massive security problem as well. So mass migration is not smart, but it advantages those in the establishment elite class, and that's why we're seeing the pushback against President Trump. We need to keep exposing these people and keep professing the truth. But I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the video and how Senator Kennedy handled this guy who was very disrespectful. You shouldn't shout at a senator like this, especially not Senator Kennedy, because he's an absolute savage. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.